Thank you for joining us on FemTalk 89 FM. I'm Mereani Nawadra speaking to Sheleni, who is the representative of Shital Sahadra Mahila Mandal in Nosori, and Sainimili, who is from the Fiji Disabled People's Federation. Today we'll be discussing human security and protection before, during, and after humanitarian emergency. Throughout the consultation, a common issue we've been discussing has been personal security. So, what change do you want to see to ensure that this protection need, this human security priority is met? Sheleni?
Thank you. Like for me, my issue was that there is no police post in my community, and until now, ever since I have joined the FemLink, my issue from that time till now is the same. So since there's a lot of stealing and robbery going around in my community, and women and young girls are not secured, they are endangered, because women are working, and young girls, they go to USP, and then when they come back from work or from school, and about 6 to 6 it starts getting dark, and some of the women are being robbed, like their mobile phone was stolen, and the girl's purse, handbag was stolen. Just people, they just come from nowhere and come and grab the things and they hide to nowhere. So I think the changes we need, that there should be one police post in my community. It's a need. And if they can't have a police post, the police should come and do the patrolling.
And for you, Sainimili, as a disabled person, what other changes do you want to see to ensure that this protection need, this is a human security priority is being met?
To me personally, for my own personal security is haven't done anything, especially for my disability. And especially the accessibility that I have. And since being traveling from outside of Suva, people intend to ask questions. So looking at my own disability, climbing in the bus, to me that's not safe, because as a woman, and I don't see the respect in that situation, what I'm going through.
Sheleni, you said that your community needs a police post. How can this be done? Like, what are the steps that you need to actually go through to actually get this done?
First, we should have a community police, and one time we had a meeting, since we have a community hall in my community, we had a meeting, and a police officer came, and then he promised to us that there will be a patrolling every night from about 10 o'clock to midnight, but he did not respond to that. So what we are trying to do, our village youths, they are trying to do the patrolling by themselves, but since they are young people, they have to go to school or have to wake up early in the morning, so they can't do the patrolling until to midnight.
Okay. And Sai, how do you think this can be done to ensure your safety as a disabled person, when traveling in public transport?
For me, safety needs to look into what persons with disability needs, like accessibility, rather than climbing the bus, getting off of the chair, and sometimes wearing skirt and going up. People intend to, do kind of looks, and for that, I just really want to. What I really need is that how a mind can be changed, rather than staring and need to help. I mean, to help catch the transport and everything.
Thank you. Sheleni, can you just tell us why this needs to be done in your community? Why have a police station in your community?
Because to tell you the truth, there's a lots and lots of stealing. Stealing, I mean, the people are most of the people in my community are farmers. They are planting vegetables. And when there is a time for harvest, when it's time for them to harvest the vegetables, these people, the wrong person, I mean, they come and harvest the vegetables at night. When the farmers, when they wake up in the morning and when they go in the farms, no vegetables there. And some of them, they do dairy farming and poultry farming. And when it's really the time for them to sell their roosters for about $50 now. But the rooster has been stolen a night before. So that's why we need a police post, because the problem is rising day by day.
Thank you. And Sai, just to wrap it up.
For me, my own safety is that dealing with transport, it really comes up to my mind right now of my health issues. Because now I came to realize when I get off of the chair, it really spoils because of my physical disability that I have, and using a medical tool that uses me every day, that I use every day, like catheters. Sometimes it really damages the things. So that is the most important thing that I really wanted to make it a change. Maybe if the organization could see it with the Ministry of Health, that maybe that they could come up with an idea for protecting the physical needs that persons with disability need. Because not only me, there's other persons that who need protection, especially in health system, that to promote the well-being in every day.
Thank you so much. You're listening to Fem Talk 89 FM. I'm Mereani Nawadra, speaking to Sheleni and Sai about personal security. Let's talk about the situation before and after Winston. For you and your community, what was the situation before Winston?
The situation was same as now, till now. But after TC Winston, because after TC Winston there was a power shutdown for about 1 month in my community. It came on the 4th week, and we were out of power. And that time, we were not feeling safe at all, because by 5:30 like this, it was getting dark, because we had no electricity, and then we had to be inside the house, be within the house, and that's why the women who are working at that time, when they're coming back from work, they were in danger.
When you say in danger, what do you mean by in danger?
No, because their life was not secure. Anybody just can come and just get a hold of them. Because in my community there are lots of bushes, like bushy. So anybody can just come from anywhere and grab those women and girls in the bush, and they might rape them. Yeah. And we also have irrigation. Before they used to do the rice farming, but now the rice farming system has been stopped, and lots of vacant area there. And plenty times we have seen that before there was a Meda, and then people, they take taxi drivers there and take hold of taxi, and they just hit the taxi drivers and tie them up, and they just push them on the bushes.
Sai, how about immediately after Winston? What was it like for you in personal security?
For me, after Winston, I see that the upgrade of assistant from my organization, which is providing medical kit to each members, and especially from a person that stays from Serua. We have a wooden house. Luckily that it's not been broken or been worn down by Winston. I came to see that what we really have, even though that we didn't even prepare for Winston, but after that, when I came back to the organization, they started to put out the medical kit to suit persons with disabilities need throughout the rural and urban.
And so Sheleni, and now 5 months on, are there any changes?
No changes at all.
No. You say?
From last month, I've seen that they still doing it till now. Being a part of our organization and the community which I belong, even though that it's not accessible, and they instead to still help, but with our organization they still distributing the stuff to other places that who's really in need, like wheelchairs, crutches, and diapers, where people that they really wanted. Even for now, everything is still on hold. They still distributing a lot of things to out who had been faces Winston.
Okay. So we've talked about what women want to see and why. Sheleni, what are the women doing to address this?
Women in my women's group, my women's club, we did a planning, and then we are trying to go and visit from home to home and talk to women, and then we are trying to collect a number of women, about 20 or 30 like this, and then we went to advisory counselor's house, and then we told him that what we want, and we told advisory counselor that why don't you talk about these issues, you take our issues into the matter, and then you try to build a police post for us, or if not, then you go to police station and ask the officer in charge to do the patrolling.
So you have done a motion, but do you have the men support on this in the community? The men in the community?
Yeah, some men, they came over to help us. Like the advisory counselor in my Vaituri is very good at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very active advisory counselor, and he is doing his best to help us out.
Sai, how are the women leading responses in their communities to address this issue?
To me, well, in my own community, sometimes my issue, they don't even want to care because of even though they have seen that I'm a woman with disability, I don't have anything to say. But in this, what I've really noticed is that this platform gives me good idea to use within the organization to use that, to do planning when before the disaster comes, and how we can use the disaster management to come and learn the different types of handling of a persons with disability, and how we can advocate families, especially families in their own community, how how to cater a person with disability in disaster. So that's what I really wanted to see as a change, to promote something that not just to help us, to help the family in neighbor, and especially within the community, how to connect it together.
Okay. So what are the barriers to women in decision making being consulted so their solutions are taken into account?
For me, seriously, for me is that we just need someone who's very active, that who really brings the message out there to all persons, especially to the grassroots level, and different kinds of messages, and especially to build more consultation or workshops that to build up a better ways of communication and networking, that how we receive the messages, especially during disasters.
Lastly, how can we women, support women's initiatives to make changes we want to see in your community?
Women should always be there to help each other. Like in my community, there are two women's group. One the elderly and one we young women. So we help each other. Sometimes we sit down together and we talk on one issue, and then we empower each other of how to go forward. Like for example, I have an issue of police post, so it's not only one woman, all women of both women's group. We move from here and there. We do a lot of movements and go and try to talk to the people responsible for this, who are responsible to build a police post, and then we try to help each other, and we try to make it sure that our voices are heard.
So thank you so much, Sheleni and Sainimili, for talking to us on FemTalk 89 FM.